Hello everyone. Today our topic is Flame Princess and how to be an attractive woman. I know that if you open this video, you want to be an attractive girl. You want people say when they see you, that girl is a flame. And you want everyone to sing, how can I be close to her? How can I be her friend? How can I stand by her side? But is it possible to become such a woman? How can you also become an attractive person so that everyone wants to meet you and to be your friend? How can you make everyone think, that girl is different, she's something else. That girl is a flame. She's alluring and unique. Who is the flame princess and how can you become one? Today, let's talk about the art of being a princess. Everyone wants to be attractive. Every woman wants to be loved. But the flame princess has some unique traits. These traits only exist in women who are both attractive and love themselves. It's exactly these traits that set the flame princess apart, making her at times unattainable and at other times the person everyone desires. Let's talk a little about this. The first trait, clear boundaries. The flame princess has very clear boundaries. She knows exactly where her boundaries begin and where they end. The most important thing is that a flame princess never betrays herself. She only moves within her boundaries. If someone crosses her boundaries, she can maintain distance from that person without getting emotional. But her boundaries are not too rigid either. She creates a unique balance, protecting her boundaries while also clearly showing them to others. Everyone around her knows their place. She doesn't even need to say what she likes, what she doesn't like. She knows through her entire aura how she wants to be treated. And do you know when this aura forms? It's programmed in us as children up until the age of 7 and 8. When we start reprogramming ourselves, we work deeply on these programs in extensive trainings to change the low frequency aura programmed into us, to form our boundaries and so on. The flame personality might not have been fully developed before the age of 7, 8, but her boundaries were formed from early childhood. However, a high percentage princess, an alluring woman, consistently works on herself. She works deeply on her psychological state and boundaries. Let's move into second trait, not being in search of love. The second thing that makes a flame princess so attractive, what makes her different is that she is not desperate for love. Because a flame princess is not desperate for love, she doesn't constantly search for it, doesn't restlessly try to draw attention, and doesn't get involved in quarrels, doesn't explode her emotions in an appropriate way. She also doesn't cry to win love, doesn't play the victim, and doesn't try to be a savior, and doesn't offer unsolicited advice. She doesn't run to someone who hasn't asked for advice, nor does she rush to be by the side of someone who is going through a tough time, saying, I am the friend for bad days, because that person didn't ask for help, nor does she try to change her partner's behavior. A flame princess doesn't need to be desperate for love to gain love. Attracting attention, doing good deeds, or giving something. These things are often seen in higher levels of life, but sometimes people still haven't reached the level of allure they desire. Let's put it in this way. A higher level of life means a person with higher material status. But not every person with high material status lives at a higher level overall. Some people may have reached a higher material success, but without living at a higher psychological level. I have met women whose sexual allure and charm were destroyed by something. Do you know what it was? They had a lot of money, and they kept showing it off. They tried to dominate everyone with their money. They kept talking about their brands, about the brands on their pants, bags, earrings, glasses, and telling the price of everything when they sat at a table. There was nothing else to talk about. They did everything for extra love. I am not saying don't wear beautiful things. You all deserve exclusive things. Doing this thing for extra love that aren't really part of your nature, that extra effort takes you further away from being charming. Because trying to gain love isn't alluring. It's the act of trying to gain love that reveals your desperation. And people like this gather around you constantly. That's why an alluring woman feels the love gap within herself. Maybe she was lucky in childhood. This happens at a very low percentage. But if she was lucky and grew up with high-level parents, or later worked on her psycho-emotional state, again, I say it, she worked on herself. For example, in our trainings, we have love techniques based on oxytocin. Through this, we restore the love gap in our bodies. We don't approach people with hunger because the flame princess never approaches people with hunger. She doesn't need to. And this is very sensual, you know? Approaching people with a full heart is very sensual and it's sexy. The aura she gives off is completely different. And what is the third key element? The third key to making the flame princess so attractive, to creating the woman who is alluring, confident and desired by everyone, is that she doesn't play the victim role. We have a free webinar on this. You can click under this video the link and you can get access to free webinar where you can work on yourself, start to be attractive. An attractive, truly alluring woman understands that the savior, the victim, and the aggressor are the roles in the triangle. This is called the Karpman triangle that we don't want to get into. In this triangle, the strongest, the most controlling, and the biggest manipulator is the victim, and the controller both playing the victim role. Do you know why? Because the victim has high control capabilities purely because she is a victim. The emotion of pity is used by many people who fall into this triangle and they begin to manipulate others, especially the victim. They keep control in their hands, but an alluring woman doesn't need to play the victim role, be controlling, interfere in others' lives, or manipulate, because those who don't believe they deserve love are the ones who do these things. An alluring woman gives herself the best love. She can give herself the best of everything. Her point of support is strong because of this. An alluring woman has a strong masculine image within her, the father image. Not her actual father, but the father image within herself. Her point of support is very strong. She can stand for herself. She has deeply restored her sense of confidence, and because of that, she stands firmly on her own feet, radiating this aura of attraction. Do you know why? Because she is firm on her support, on herself, doesn't need anyone to save her. She doesn't fall into thoughts like, I'm a princess, I am in need, I'll wait for a man to come and rescue me. Her support is firm. She believes in herself. Because of this, she doesn't need manipulations as a defense mechanism. She doesn't need to work with the feeling of pity to manipulate others. She doesn't need to control others' emotions or break their boundaries. She doesn't seek a savior or an aggressor. This is how the flame princess is formed. And what's the fourth principle of becoming alluring flame princess? A flame princess, first and foremost, gives everything she wants from the outside to herself. She creates it for herself. And that's exactly why the flame princess never gets involved in vertical relationships. You can now ask, what's a vertical relationship? And I have already told you, it mostly happens in partner relationships, but sometimes we also get involved in vertical relationships with our parents and friends. This means one in partnership is below and the other one is above, one is controlling, the other is controlled, and one is energetically higher, one is lower. That's vertical relationship. But the flame princess never gets involved in this. The flame princess, for example, wouldn't want to show dominance over his partner. Or on the contrary, her partner wouldn't try to dominate her or keep her down. Never. The charm of attractive woman lies in the fact that she needs nothing. Her aura shows that they can give everything to themselves. She always thinks, what the thing brings to my life, what the things that I do will add to my life. The real strength of an attractive woman comes from this powerful self-sufficiency, which gives them a sense of wholeness. Because sometimes they say that in relationships we are two halves of an apple. In such relationships, unfortunately, both sides try to complete the things that are missing in each other, try to fill each other's traumas, ego, gaps. There is no happiness in such relationships, of course. Attractive women say, I am whole. And they want to be around whole people, not half. They place a lot of importance on their energy, on the resources of the people they choose in their lives. And by doing so, they protect their own energy more and look more attractive. Now moving to fifth principle. Generally, more attractive women are distinguished by high emotional intelligence. Sometimes people might mistakenly say that to be attractive is only intellectual thing. And only your intellectual intelligence should be high if you want to be an attractive person. Especially if you grew up in an intellectual family, you might think so. You might have been told that you need to have a high intellectual level to be attractive. But no, babe. You often see that even people who don't have such high intellectual levels are very attractive. And the question arises here. Why? For example, why do these people seem more attractive? Because in life, I always support intellectual progress. Don't think that I don't support that you should improve your emotional and intellectual level. But the most important thing is emotional intelligence, not intellectual one. It's not just academic knowledge, but emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, experience, and deal with emotions. This isn't something everyone has. In fact, many famous and influential people have this ability. I have my own psychologists and mentors. Even though they come from completely different fields, they are learning to act well in life. Do you know why? Because they are learning to work with emotions from all angles. You can see them attending acting classes or dance classes or body practices to increase emotional intelligence. To feel emotions in the body and release them. Having high emotional intelligence means these people can express their emotions in a very bright and adequate way. They don't suppress any emotions. They are not ashamed of any emotion. They don't hesitate. They are in touch with all their emotions. They are more relaxed in their bodies. They speak more easily. They are more self-confident because their emotions are not suppressed. Especially if we look at the emotional spectrum, such people are also good at recognizing and managing low vibration emotions. The low vibration emotions are shame, guilt, and negative feelings like that. When they are in any emotion, in any low emotion, people with high emotional intelligence, the attractive people know how to get out of these negative emotions and how to restore their energy back. It's exactly this high emotional intelligence that gives them the ability to build empathy. The empathy is the key, because many people think that to be more sexual and more attractive, they need to rescue others, feel pity for them, but this is not the empathy. Women with high attraction know that feeling pity for someone is not out of love. Feeling shame towards someone is not out of love. Feeling guilty for someone is not love. Suppressing aggression towards someone is not out of pure love. Living in low emotions is not love. Attractive people understand all of that. That's why attractive women don't do charity work just because they feel sorry for someone. This makes them more influential, more pleasant to look at. For example, when helping your friends, they can feel whether this help comes from love or from pity. It comes from a horizontal relationship, not a vertical one. That means it comes from love, where you both are in the same level. You see people the same level. Okay? You don't see or act like you are above anyone or lower than someone. You are always in horizontal relationships. It means being a loving person, avoiding living in low emotions. Look, an attractive person, a flame princess, is big love. And this big love constantly attracts big loves into their life. Believe me, I always tell you. Do you know why flame princess, an attractive woman, get gifts from men without even opening their mouths, without even speaking. Let's move into the sixth point and you'll know that. Because look, the man, I always give you an example that, for example, think of two banks. These are two banks and their brand name is the same. Both banks are equally beautiful and attractive. They are located next to each other in the first bank, but there's no one. No one is investing in there. No one is in line. It's empty. The second bank is full. Everyone is lining up and depositing their money there. Then think about it. Which bank would the man especially choose to invest in? Out of these two, of course, the one that's full, yeah? People are the same. We only want to invest in a person who is full with the resources, time, and energy. Many people ask me, why do people value you so highly? Why do they come to you? Why do they buy you gifts? Like I answer, because I am full of love. I am not empty. I don't seek love. I spread love. A flame princess always full of love. Like she is a full bank. The bank that's chosen always to invest in. People always are eager to invest in someone who is full. But no one wants to invest in an empty person, someone who hasn't opened up with love and has an empty emotional intelligence. And the main strength of a woman who can receive gifts without opening her mouth, without speaking, is this: she's full of love. That's it. That's why these feelings are sensed from the outside. That's people. People feel this fullness. That's why they always want to give her something. This is the key, you know. Attractive women are the ones who can get what they want from life. They can get everything because they accept their parents. Many women, especially those who aren't attractive, live with suppressed aggression toward their fathers. These women don't love the world of men. They have negative feelings towards them, and this way they cannot get anything from the world of men. And they might have a similar relationship with their mothers as well. We get to know the world through our mother first, and after that through our father. Our mother teaches us life and the world. If you still have suppressed aggression or negative feelings towards your mother, then you cannot get anything from anyone in the world, from clients or even from your own peers, because this aggression is projected onto your entire world. One of the reasons why a flame princess can get everything from world is because she accepts her parents. She has no low emotions towards her parents. She knows that her father is strong personality and her mother is loving, caring, strong personality. On the other hand, a person full of low thoughts, emotionally weak, and empty body, like empty energy, create voids around them, which becomes an obstacle in their energy field. So, I hope that after listening to this video, you will know exactly how to be a flame princess, how to be an attractive woman, and if you want to continue, make sure to click the link below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I love this channel so much and you too. Thank you very much.